Hello everyone, my name is Florian and like Salima just said, I'm the coordinator of this project and I work for the two French partners, ACTA VISTA and Bauhaus. Maybe we can start with a little video that will present you the project.
Built heritage is a piece of our past and of our history. It's part of our shared identity and a legacy from our ancestors. It's also a duty to transmit it to future generations. Restoring heritage is a matter of stones as much as humans and societies. Our ambition is to transform heritage restoration worksites into innovative platforms for training, inclusion, territorial development, and living labs on eco-construction. We have initiated this project because we share two observations. First, there is an unemployment rate of 6% in the European Union. Many people still struggle to access training opportunities or labour market. In front of that, the construction industry is missing tens of thousands of workers. That's why we promote the restoration of historic monuments to train this missing workforce. Second, the construction sector is among one of the most polluting in Europe, responsible for 20% of CO2 emissions. By promoting and raising awareness on eco-restoration and traditional techniques, we want to inspire this industry to reduce its carbon footprint. Thanks to Erasmus Plus programme, we've been able to associate 5 organisations with deep expertise in heritage restoration, training, eco-construction and social innovation. ACTA VISTA, the leading partner, is a French organisation who implements back-to-work programmes for people in precarious situations on heritage restoration worksites. Bauhaus works with ACTA VISTA in France to deliver qualifying trainings in the ancient masonry field with a pedagogy based on gesture. Dragadid, a Croatian organisation, restores dry stone heritage with a community of volunteers in an eco-friendly spirit. Beluki in Greece helps old mason transmit their traditional skills and techniques to new generations of students, architects and engineers. And finally, Pour La Solidarité is a Belgian think and do tank who promotes social innovation in the field of European policies. Since 2021, we have put our strengths together to find inspiring examples in Europe and the Mediterranean area and prove that it is possible to combine inclusion, training and sustainable development through heritage. We have involved trainers, pedagogical engineers and worksite managers to find the best practices to achieve this. We have tested and improved methodologies to unlock the social and sustainable potential of heritage. And now we invite you to discover and take ownership of this work.
So this is the project we've been working on, HERO, which stands for Heritage Ecological Restoration for Inclusive Opportunities. And so I suppose you got the big idea with the video. So we've been working on improving and innovating in the field of heritage restoration training, in particular for people in precarious situations who have limited access to training and employment, but also in the field of eco-construction and eco-restoration. This is the 5 partners we have put together the project. So we have the 2 French organizations, ACTA VISTA, who is the leading partner, and Bauhaus, who are 2 organizations that are based in Marseille and work closely together. And basically, we propose back-to-work program for people in precarious situation, which means that we hire, we support, we train, and we accompany people who have no work experience or no training experience in the field of restoration and, generally speaking, in the field of construction, who experience a lot of barriers to access training and employment, and who enjoy our support programs to get training and work experience in the field of heritage restoration. Maybe I can give the floor quickly to the other partners that are with us. Panos for Buluki. Hello.
Just to introduce Buluki, we're an NGO, non-profit organization based in Greece, operating since 2018. We're mostly architects, engineers, collaborating with a lot of other professionals, especially craftspeople, but also other professionals in cultural heritage field and construction sector, mainly researching on traditional building techniques and materials, and promoting and training other people, mostly craftspeople, engineers, architects again, through actual workshops which happen through actual construction projects, either restoration or new constructions based on traditional building techniques in various areas of Greece. Yeah, that's it mainly.
Thank you, Panos, and we will find you again this afternoon for the second roundtable. Maybe I can give you the floor now, Ivona, to present Dragodid in a few words.
Yeah, it's really a pity that Julia from Dragodid isn't here, but I can just say that Dragodid is a very important association in Croatia, because it's an association that started empowering all the other actors which are working in the preservation of dry stone walls. Because I also run an association, and for more than 12 years we've been cooperating with Dragodid, and if Dragodid wasn't there, I think we'll just be doing small things. And with them, it really became like a national, even international thing. So mostly dry stone workshops, working with volunteers, that's what Dragodid does, and it does it very, very good. So whoever wants to see Croatia, I think joining one of their workshops would be a good way to really get to know the heritage and the place and the nature. So yeah, hope Julia won't mind.
Thank you, Ivona. Yes, and Pour La Solidarité with Françoise, who was presented earlier, and Salima, who will just pick up after me and say a few more words about the organization. If we can slide, yes. So the key information about this project is so maybe first, why did we started this project? It's based on three observations and three shared challenges that are shared by the four countries and the 5 partners that we put around the table. Is the first that there is a phenomenon of deterioration of heritage in the European Union. We are the continent with the highest number of heritage labeled historically labeled sites by the UNESCO, and at the same time as this heritage is getting deteriorated, there is a loss of traditional know-how and skills of builders and restorers of this kind of buildings. The second fact is that there is, especially since the COVID crisis, there is a missing workforce in the construction industry. So depending on the source, there is several, up to 50,000 missing workers in the construction industry. And at the same time, there is a growing number of people who have difficulties to access employment. So we think that there could be an opportunity for those people to find jobs in this construction industry. And the third fact is that the construction industry is responsible for 20% of CO2 emission in Europe. Is the industry with the highest carbon footprint in Europe, and we can match it with the traditional skills and techniques and materials that are being used in the heritage and its restoration to also give inspiration to this industry to have a lower carbon footprint. No, yes, still a bit on slides. Thanks. So just before there was a question about how the funding opportunities for heritage. So this project is funded by the Erasmus Plus program. It's a strategic partnership in the field of adult education. Well, I won't enter in the details of these funding programs, but basically it's we've been working on this project for almost 3 years now, and it's been a long and adventurous journey, which is almost over, and we are closing it with you today. And we got the support of 340,000 euro. With this this project, which is really focused on training methodologies, I will present you right after what we have developed. But basically, we had 2 training of trainers, bringing together our different training teams from the 5 partners. We had 1 training in France at the beginning of the project, and another one last year in Greece to discuss, test, and improve the methods that we have developed with our training and pedagogical teams. We have 3 handbooks that I will present you just right after. And we also had a series of 4 international events, and which is the last one today. So we also had one in France at the beginning of the project, one in Greece last year, and also in Croatia, and today the last one, the final event. Yes, slide now. So this is the 3 handbooks that we have developed in this project. So the first step of this project was to make a mapping of different initiatives, organizations, and projects that combine heritage, inclusion, and sustainable development in some way or another. So we have about 15 initiatives from all over Europe and also North Mediterranean. So we also have Ashraf from Chantier École Maroc, who will also present his organization this afternoon in roundtable. But yes, we have not limited only in the European Union, but we have also expanded it to the Mediterranean area, because most of us are located in the Mediterranean coast. So this is not something that only happens in Europe, but in other regions as well. The second one is the trainer toolkit, which is our biggest chunk of work and results on this project. So it's a toolkit that gathers guidelines, tips, advices, and also a lot of practical contents aimed at trainers or field workers that are directly implementing the trainings or directly managing the teams in charge of the heritage restoration. And it's yes, about 100 pages toolkit, which is developed to a certain extent with theoretical, but also a lot of practical contents, and it's also paired with a set of activity sheets that you can directly implement or get inspiration from to implement your training activities, and also supported by tutorial videos that we've made to really deliver to the community hands-on material to replicate and disseminate what we've been working on in terms of methodologies and pedagogical approach in this project. And finally, we have a set of recommendation and advocacy paper, which Salima will present right after. And this objective is not to keep only for us what we've been working on and what we have, what kind of conclusions we've came across to bring the project a step further along with this recommendation. And yes, so also to give it a bit of visibility and give a few keys to the policy makers in the field of heritage, but also in the field of education, social inclusion and sustainable development. That's a quick overview of the project, and now we'll give you the floor, Salima, for to present the conclusion and the recommendation. Thank you.
You can put back the slide before. Yeah. So the document is here of the recommendation. It will be soon available online, and you will all receive a copy. I just wanted to say that I think I'm going to use the word again, inspiring. It has been very much, well, it has been a discovery also for me to work with our partners who are really inspiring, and I have to say they are very humble. They do really great work on the ground. Buluki, Dragodid, ACTA VISTA, and Bauhaus Formation. We also have somebody from Bauhaus Formation, Cedric, that's training people in vulnerable situations. And I've been going and seeing from our own eyes what they are doing is really incredible. They're really, as you were saying, they're really committed, and they are needed really in this world to do that kind of work. So our recommendation really, over the course of our meetings, we have been thinking about a lot of things. That's really, it's coming from concrete discussion, implementation of what we have been producing. But I just wanted to say that putting all this back into the European context, a lot has been done, has been produced in terms of policies, strategies, project on cultural heritage. Just to give you an idea over a span of 30 years, and also to give some milestones, culture became a competency at the European level in 1992 when it was inscribed into the EU treaties. Maybe some of you know Article 128 and Article 151. These are really the basis for implication of the European Union in the area of culture. And then I will go, maybe, I don't know if we can talk about a paradigm shift when we had the European Year of Cultural Heritage, and what it produced, the framework on cultural heritage. That was kind of important, that opened the road to a lot of initiatives and projects also, but big projects that are actually also calling for the same types of, that have the same types of recommendation and conclusion that we have also come through. But it's just a matter of finding them and reading them, and it's a lot of reading. And then I think the Europa Nostra green paper on cultural heritage in Europe was also a big what you say, a big shift, yeah, because it was at the basis of the cultural program 2023-2026, and most of all, it was mentioned in the European Council conclusion of 2020, which gives very clear recommendations to the member states and to the Commission to implement various things in the field of cultural heritage, including training, developing training, vocational education training. So that was also very important. And of course, after that, there's been the Green Deal, with also some of the new European Bauhaus and the renovation wave. In parallel, we also have the European Pillar of Social Rights to look after the social aspect of that. And also the Green Deal and the European Pillar of Social Rights also pushed to have a European skills agenda for Europe, where we see all the recommendation for employment, including young people also, and also for the needs to develop a training program. A lot of recommendation in the field of vocational and education and training programs. Looking at all this, we can say that what we are recommending is already there, you know, in terms of a recommendation from the EU to the member states, to different stakeholders, but we are bringing it maybe in a more concrete way. I'm not going to, we have come up with 7 recommendations that are, I think, balanced with what our project was about, the social aspect and the ecological aspect. Most of the recommendations, so we are calling for the development of vocational and education training programs that focus on traditional techniques and that encourage the development of a skilled workforce. But this is also true for craftsmanship, and also developing vocational training and bringing also, giving a new, promoting, I would say, craftsmanship with the younger generation. Yeah, so so if we have programs that promote the transmission of knowledge from skilled people, expert people to the young generation, that's very important, and particularly in the remote areas. We also call for strong recommendation to transform heritage work sites into training and inclusion platforms using the back to work model, for example. Also making I said craftsmanship more attractive and valued. Use heritage to drive the ecological transition. So I'm not going to, this is everything that Koen mentioned in his keynote. And most of all, also foster collaboration with public authorities and civil society through heritage. There are lots of things happening actually, but if it's not publicized, if we don't hear about it, we are completely out of it. Gentrification, I don't know, but there is really a lot of things, and one of the things of the new European Bauhaus is also to reach out to the public, to make more communication, to explain what it is about, and the Green Deal gives a lot of importance to, I mean, puts also cultural heritage at the center. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I recommend you to read the recommendation, but also what has been done over the course of 30 years in terms of policy development, strategies, projects. We have example of projects. We also gave some examples of projects. And yes, that's it. Thank you very much.